Good morning, everyone. This is Sibbe Bladh. Life is a one-way journey. As we pass through, we meet things, we experience things that never come again. It's the same with the seasons of the year in the nature. It's one time you have a chance for almost everything in life. People might ask themselves why I'm talking, why I'm speaking. And frankly, I don't get much to lose anymore. From the start of a human being's life, humanity is like a family. It's like his world of protection. The humanity is very important for young people. And then as we progress through a life of spiritual growth, because everyone is on the path of spiritual growth. It's just that the material runnings and duties keeps us busy. But we're all on the same path, on a different time frame. And for me, the time has come to start disconnecting with humanity. And this, of course, it's alien for the human nature. We are herd creatures, basically, when we're small, and then we turn to lone wolf, wisdom carriers when we're older. In the natural society, in the artificial fake society, these are not the terms. Then people are supposed to be young until they are 70. But in the natural world, each creature goes through stages to reach a completion. And by a certain stage, you become hermit-like. So really, I speak because I don't care what people think anymore at all. And so I don't care if they listen to what I say or not. Only reason I speak is to have communication while I still have a mouth, and to use that. And it's a monologue. I speak to myself mainly. Like Jung said, most problems that disturb us, or kinds of people or things that disturb us, tells us most about ourselves. So basically, everything everybody say is to themselves, ultimately. Whether they know it or not. So I'm talking to myself I don't need to talk to other humans. That time has finished for me. But I'm a human, so I share knowledge about the human experience from my point of view. And sometime, maybe somebody will come into the right time of their life to really understand what I'm talking about. Because I'm sure it seems pretty strange from other parts of life, other walks of life. And also I have the ability, I have the possibility to live this way. That's important. I can choose to live this way. And many people can't do that. They are forced into daily routines, yearly routines. And the only thing I have to deal with is to get food and the climate. And I heard that loneliness is the real pandemic that kills most people. Being alone is as unhealthy and harmful as to smoke 15 cigarettes per day. And figures like this from different studies. And I believe that when we disconnect from the world and seek the hermit stage, we are slowly becoming something else than human. They have called it the mystics. In other cultures, this is the final stages of life. In the Vedic is the sannyasa. The person leave their home and family and walk down the road like a monk, owning nothing but a stick and a plate. And the people provide food for these saints who are about to walk to the higher region. So there's different ways of seeing this. I think it's a natural process, and especially in the Nordic countries, where we, the indigenous native population, we lived very isolated under harsh circumstances, and loneliness was very common. People lived their lives in cabins and huts and houses during the long dark winters, and this genetically created also a kind of a matrical how we are as Nordic souls, Nordic people. So we don't have to go out in the world with a stick and ask for food. It wouldn't work. We as a tribal society, we are very driven, centered around work, accomplishment, physical reality. We have to provide, because the people who didn't collect food, they died in the old times. So to become a hermit, it has a little bit different meaning in the northern regions, in the northern hemisphere. It means that you have to sustain yourself with wood, with warming, with heat, with water, and you have to grow some food. And then there's a choice. As long as your two legs can carry you, you can provide for yourself, you can live. But then when you get old, there is two options. Either you lie down and die, or you go to the forest and go to sleep, or you are at the hands of humanity, which is at a psychological, spiritual level that you left ages ago. So that will be like torture. So it's important for the hermit to live healthy, live good, to avoid disease, illness, and other problems, because he or she cannot mingle with the civilization so much anymore. And this is okay for old people, I think. I mean, I believe in a mystic, in a spiritual world. I believe in the spirits. I don't believe in death. I believe in immortality. I believe in reincarnation. I have been outside of my body, an outer body experience, as they call it. And my sense of self was still intact. And that led me to the belief that the self is eternal, or at least have a chance to evolve into something eternal. But the self is a kind of soul that lives through many lives, many material existences. And then it might become something else. But it has made me sure that we are conscious. This I in ourselves are conscious beyond the body, beyond death. And many other people have spoken about this too. So I'm not alone in this kind of knowledge and self-experience. But no creature wants to die. I mean, that's an instinct. The body will produce adrenaline to try to crawl away or something, you know. It's not connected in the soul. Fear is not, or panic and adrenaline is not connected to the soul. Actually, when that is too much, the soul goes, because the soul is not about that. The soul is stability and self-awareness, calm. You don't stress because it has ages. But so I mean, fear of death is not rooted in logic. This is emotional. And we have to think rational about this. So I'm speaking to no one, and it don't feel funny, it don't feel strange. That's how far it has gone. And possibly it's not going to be possible to keep. I mean, but I'm not trying to keep people out of my life. Let's make that clear first. This is not an effort to say, I want to be alone and I don't want no one in my life. it's not about that at all. I mean, I like people, I love people. I try to help people, and I always care for people and animals. I'm that kind of person. But we have come to a stage where this is impossible to interact because of the vast differences in energy, psychology, intelligence, vocabulary. We cannot communicate, we cannot feel each other's vibration, because energy needs to circulate. Energy needs senders and receivers, and we are all that. Our DNA is that. And if we cannot vibrate on any kind, emotional, psychological, intellectual level, it's just harmful and negative to keep such structures. Man have to go for their own brilliance, their own illumination, and they have to create their own beauty, because they are practicing to become a creator. They are practicing to be gods. Because this is school. This is school. This is evolution, spiritual evolution. So we're learning to create and foster and take care of and take responsibility. But also when the journey is over, we take another responsibility. And we're so lonely, so lonely. We, even in the world, even genetically, we are lonely. Even the offspring is 50% another person. Next generation, 25%. Third generation, only 12.5% of the people are you. And that's why the grandparents, they get some attention, but the generation over that, they don't get much. So we're all alone. We come in alone, we fight through this life alone, and then in the middle of everything, when everything is on top, we have people around us. We are important, things are working. But then we go back to the isolation, then we go back to ourselves and to being alone. Some have the great fortune to have a partner through life. But that creates also certain pains and maybe can be, if we're unlucky, a bit holding back the spiritual. Because again, another person is another person, right? Unless we come from the exact same region, with the same nature, with the same background, so we are like genetically vibrating on the same frequency. But maybe it don't happen. So, but it's the one shot, it's the one chance. Life is one chance. So in the middle of life, that's our chance, when everything is warm and bright and we are the center of the world. But then it's out to the periphery again, where we came from. I think it was Twain that said, I have no fear for death because I was dead for billions of years before I was born, and it didn't bother me the slightest, or something like that. Yeah, you get the essence. It's back to our individual soul journey through the galaxy, and we each have to carry our own. And this is what the hermit, the spiritual hermit stage, is about: nourishing your own vibration after a long life of service to mankind, with all your projects and endeavors and family and people and work and everything you have accomplished. It's time to care for myself and myself only, because the world we don't share destiny. We are travelers, companions that walk together for a while, but destiny is personal, and that's why we have free choice as individuals. We have free choice to make fools of ourselves or to bless ourselves endlessly. It's all a free choice. And we cannot carry a collective burden or reach a collective enlightenment or anything. Life is completely individual. So that's why I'm speaking. I'm speaking to share with those who are new on the journey mainly. You old people who didn't get it, I mean, maybe you have a next chance, next life. But younger people with brain who are interested, they should not make the same mistakes as these losers. Because every generation have a lot of losers who lost it and never made it. The spiritual journey is the natural journey. Selection is hard. It's 1 out of 1,000,000 ascend. It's like the sperm, it's just 1 out of plenty that make it to the egg, to the nirvana, and transform into another dimension, into a higher creature. And the same way the spirit of man ascend one by one, while the masses of the people, they reproduce and cycle in the reincarnation system. And then one by one, some of these spirit, when the spirit are finished, they leave this realm. They become something higher. And that's what everybody is going for. Everybody going for spiritual power and this process. There is none that is not on this way. Even the darkest forces, darkest souls, they are part of the system too. They might want eternal death, eternal darkness. But the power of God, the divine power, it is absolute and ultimate and infinite. And it will always win this game. We can only hurt ourselves in the world. Because what this produces is gold and diamonds for cosmos. So remember that, and Be good to yourself. Eat good, live good. And try to be not too negative. Okay, take care. Bless.